Greetings and welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. I am your host, Michael J. Griffin Jr., and today we're going to do a reaction video that I'm entitling Sweet as Honey, but Bitter as Wormwood. All right, but before we get started, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of the content that I am producing. And without further ado, to the video.
Here we are again. My name is Jordan Jackson. We are here with Looking for Love. We're with the beautiful, tell them what your name is.
LaCherry.
LaCherry.
All right, first, let's get this out of the way. This woman is beautiful. All right. We're not going to make any, there are no qualms about it. She's an attractive woman. She's an attractive young woman. I don't know many men that would look at her and say, oh, yeah, she's ugly, right? The woman is an attractive woman. So let's just get that out of the way and get to the rest of the video.
Yes.
We're here with LaCherry, and when my producers told me that you were looking for love, I was like, ain't no way in the hell this beautiful woman right here is looking for love. But the producer said they are rest assured that you are.
So she is looking for love, okay? And then he pans around and shows off her body. Again, this is, I don't know the full extent of what the video is for. I saw another channel react to this, and I wanted to bring a Christian perspective to this video. I'm not sure why, what the point of the video is. I guess at the end, she's going to give her information, and men are supposed to shoot their shot, right? That's what they say at the end. So let's just keep rolling through the video.
Can you tell me why is it so hard for a beautiful queen like yourself to find a man, right?
That's a really good question. Why is it so hard for a woman who looks like this to find a man? Let's see what she says.
Here in Atlanta?
I feel like there are too many men that are wanting more than one of, like me.
Okay, so she says that there are too many men wanting more than one of her. So she has a standard. She is not willing to share her men, right? She wants a man who is down for her and only her. So too many men in Atlanta, and that's where she's from, or that's where she is right now. Too many men are wanting to share, and she has a standard, and rightfully so. She shouldn't have to share a man if she doesn't want to.
Oh, they want 3 or 4, 5 dimes.
That part. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So, what do you do for a living, and what do you bring to the table if a man wants to get you as they queen?
Another good question. All right. What does she bring to the table? Let's see what she leads with. Generally, people will lead with what they think is most important. You put your best foot forward. As a rhetorician, you give your strongest argument so that people will pay attention to what you're trying to, what it is that you're trying to prove. Okay. So here we go.
I own my own business.
She owns her own business. That's what she leads with. She owns her own business. This is a part of the reason why we're having a disconnect with what men want and what women want. Women are valuing things. They're valuing the wrong things. They think that men value certain things that they do not value, right? For years and years and years, I think at least my generation, at least, I'm 43 years old. Women have been taught to get their education, to get a bag, right? To provide for themselves, to be independent. And that's been the model that's been built up into their head. Now that's their paradigm. Their paradigm is men want these things, or these things are valuable. If I believe as a woman that these things are valuable, men should believe that these things are valuable. But we have different valuation metrics. Men have a valuation metric that they're looking at, right? And it's way over here, right? It's east. As far as the east is from the west, and women have a valuation model that they've been brought up to believe, the valuation metric that they've been brought up to believe, and it's there as far as the east is from the west. Men do not care about how much money. Well, let's say this: men who have their own don't care about how much money a woman makes. A bum, a man who wants to live up under a woman, will care about things like that. Okay, and this is why women like this wind up attracting bums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a couple of them. So I would bring to the table money.
She brings to the table money. Again, who cares? Like as a man who makes 6 figures plus, we don't care about that. We don't care about how much money you bring to the table, because we have our own. And I'm not interested in how much money you bring to the table, right? Because again, that's not my money. I'm not going to be able to use that money. That's not mine. I didn't earn it. I'm not a bum. I don't want to live off of you. Right. So the idea here is that she has a different valuation metric than the men who she's expecting to be a part of her castle or her kingdom, as it were.
So you got your own money. You got yeah. So you ain't no gold digger. Ain't nothing about you.
Now that's a great thing. She's not a gold digger, right? Now here's part of the reason why this gold digger thing has become since Kanye West, made that song back in the day. I can't even remember, but she ain't messing with no gold diggers, right? Blah 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 blah. All right. There's nothing wrong with women wanting to be protected and taken care of. Now we've made that an idea that should be shunned and discarded. That women want to be taken care of. Now, there's a difference between wanting to be taken care of and specifically being a gold digger, because a gold digger is someone who wants the money but doesn't want to provide anything of value herself. Right? A woman who wants a man with money and is willing to provide specific things that a woman provides is an asset to him. Right? My wife, I make all the money. My wife is integral to keeping this house, making our house a home. She's raising our children, right? She's educating my children, or our children. So the idea goes, she's providing a value in our marriage that I couldn't do by myself. I couldn't do both of these things. I couldn't make 6 figures plus and then also do everything that my wife does, right? She is doing things that I cannot do. She is my suitable helper. She's not a gold digger. And this lady is probably not a gold digger as well. And it's a good thing that she isn't, right? But she's going about it the wrong way. She's saying, I'm not a gold digger because I make all of my own money, and a man should want me because I make that much money. Well, that's not what men want.
I don't need your paper. No.
When she says, I don't need your paper, right? She has a lot of masculine energy. I don't need your paper. Don't come to me stepping incorrectly. I don't need your paper. Right? Well, what man wants to deal with that? Right? And she's already kind of given off that masculine energy. She's already given off that don't step to me the wrong way vibe, which is not a bad thing. Don't step to women the wrong way. But the masculine energy saying that I don't need you as a man, as a woman, I don't need you as a man. I don't need you. Then that's like red flag number 1. If you don't need me, what's the point of me being with you? I'm a man. I need somebody to need me. I'm just going to be honest. Right? That's because that's what men are wired to do, right? Because God has wired us that way. We need a woman. We want a woman who needs us.
Wow, you got your own paper. A lot of men really can't handle a beautiful queen that can provide for herself. Have you found that to be a problem?
Another really good question. Let's see how she answers it. Men can't handle a woman who makes her own money.
Is that why you're still looking for love?
No. As I just said, I have my own businesses, so I don't need a man to take care of me.
All right, so
what it is, men are more so, they're scared of a woman that's independent.
Wow.
And they have their own. They don't know how to handle that. They're like, okay, hold on. I need to do this for you, but if you can't, that's a problem.
So this is what she says. She says that, look, men are scared. Men are scared of women who have their own. Nobody's really afraid of this woman, right? Nobody. I don't think any man is physically afraid of her. So what is she saying? She's saying that men want to take care of a woman, and if there's a woman who they can't take care of, they're running, right? And she thinks it's because of fear. I would contend that it's because they want someone who needs them. It's not they're not afraid of you, just that you're not the type of woman that they want. And again, this is the model. Her model has been built up. This is her model, and any data that comes in that will challenge her model, right? There's cognitive dissonance there. She's decided that this information, these men are afraid. That's the language that she's using to dismiss the data that men aren't coming. The type of men that she wants aren't checking for her. Right. So she dismisses the data by saying, well, they're afraid. Right. You have to pay attention to this type of language. Whenever someone is confronted with data that doesn't fit their model. Right. And their model doesn't have the explanatory power to figure out why this data is this way. They'll use what Kevin Samuels calls sign language: shames, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. They'll say, oh, yeah, you're shaming. You're afraid of me. You can't handle me. And again, what's the idea? What's the idea behind trying to handle a woman? Women aren't meant to be handled. Women are meant to be loved, taken care of, cherished. Right? That's not It's not my job to handle you. I handle wild animals. You handle wild animals. And part of the reason why we're in the black culture the way we are right now is our women are wild. They're out there wild doing what they want to do. They're not being checked. There's no checks and balances. You would be out of your mind to try to check a black woman today, right? You get all kinds of smoke. But they're wild, and for a large part of their lives, they've been taught to be wild. But they call it being independent.
So,
I like to have one up,
One
or
up.
two, or
Okay.
three. Show you say my number's 3. So
what kind of a man are you looking for?
I don't even understand what that meant. I'm letting that pass by. I don't understand it. I'm kind of old and my slang game is not up, so I'm just letting y'all can don't think I didn't know what I don't have anything to say, so that's why, because I don't understand it.
What does the man have to bring to the table if he's trying to be into your kingdom?
I would say I need you to be strong, already have your career, not a job,
Okay, nice.
and just be willing to, hey, let's go. Let's see where we can go to the top. More so off of what I already have and what you have is what I would say.
All right.
So she says this is what she wants. She has a plan. She knows what she wants. She wants someone who has a career, not a job. She wants someone who has their own, so that the two of them can rise to the top together. Now, I don't know where the top is, but she obviously has an idea of where the top is, and she wants to go there. Now, I don't know if she's saying like, hey, you make 6 figures, I make 6 figures, and we can live this type of lifestyle in Atlanta that, the upper echelon lifestyle. Maybe that's what she's discussing. I don't know. Maybe power couple mindset, partnership mindset. Again, that doesn't have any. Like, she doesn't want to be a wife, right? She wants a partner, and that's the idea. That's you have to have that, because again, she has to have that as her model, because that's what she's been taught, right? Because she has her own, and a man needs to come to her with his own, and then they can form a business partnership. This is not a marriage. She doesn't want a marriage. She wants a business partner, right? She wants a business partner with sexual benefits. Literally, that's what she wants. Okay.
Now, Kenny, does it matter if he's got, too many kids, kids, is that a deal breaker?
I'm not worried about kids, not at all.
Okay.
They have their own mothers. I'm not coming as a stepmom now.
Okay. You ain't finna raise no kids.
No, I'm not going to raise nobody.
No, I get that. I wouldn't, if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to raise anybody else's kids either. I can't blame her for that.
I hope they're already grown, but, we can see.
All right. Well, look, what social media, what are the platforms that they can find you on, if they're trying to be
All right, well, I'm going to stop the video right there. A couple of things I wanted to point out, and I'm going to go to the scriptures in a second. But notice the tattoo there. I noticed that. The tattoo right there in the middle, right on her neck, right? A cross. This woman is probably in somebody's Christian church. Why? This is one of the reasons why I wanted to review this video. I'm gonna bring myself up. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to review this video as well. That woman has a Christian tattoo on her neck, and nothing about what she said is remotely biblical. And I can imagine that she's probably at one of these mega churches where everything is acceptable. You can be in and out of there and not really be known because the congregation is so large. But if whatever teaching she's getting from the pulpit is not, at best, it's not informing a biblical worldview, or at worst, which I believe what it is, it's teaching antithetical. All right, we had some technical difficulties, and I'm finishing up now. So they're teaching antithetical to the biblical worldview. One of the reasons why my channel exists is that I want my sons to be able to recognize this type of thinking, this paradigm, and to be able to filter it through the scriptures and understand what they're seeing, what they're acting. So this is what I saw what I filtered through the scriptures when I saw this video. Okay, so I'm going to the scriptures. Proverbs 5:3, for the lips of a forbidden woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. This woman, the forbidden woman, she's beautiful. Make no mistake about it, that young lady was beautiful. Her speech is smoother than oil. Her words sound good, right? I don't need a man. I don't need anybody to take care of me. I'm independent. I have money, etc., etc., etc. I want a man that I can take that we can go to the top together. We come together. But again, if you understand the biblical worldview, you understand what the purpose of man and woman is, like what each of our purposes are, then you will understand that that her words are smoother than oil. That's not what the Bible teaches about marriage. That's not what the ultimate end for man and woman is. Okay, it's not a partnership where we can both go to the top. That's Ahab and Jezebel. That's what they did. They went to the top. If you know anything about Ahab and Jezebel, you know that you don't want to be like them. Okay, but in the end, verse 4, she is bitter as wormwood. Wormwood is a bitter tasting herb, sharp as a two-edged sword. You can't grab it by the handles, right? There's no two-edged sword. You don't mess with it, because don't do it. Okay, the idea is that this woman will take you down. She will take you down. It's better to be on the rooftop of a house than down in the house with a contentious and quarrelsome woman. Okay, I can imagine that this woman will be contentious with you in a relationship. You can see the masculine energy. You can feel it coming across the screen. She's independent. She's a boss. She doesn't need you. I own my own businesses. I don't know what those businesses are. I can take a couple of guesses, but I don't think that she's a titan of industry. Let's just say that. All right. So I'm going to leave you all with that. Remember, we're filtering everything through the scriptures here on Developing Dad. I'm hoping that this is a benefit and a blessing to you all. And then maybe it's an encouragement and a conviction as well, because I know that this was extremely encouraging and convicting to me as I was learning how to do this. Right. I had to peel away so many things. I had to strip away. My paradigm had to shift. Essentially, the things that I was taught, that I had been conditioned to believe, had to be stripped away. And it was painful. Right. And it only is by the grace of God that I'm able to do this today. OK, so I'm going to leave you all with that one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next one. All right. Grace and peace.